Hey guys, Coach Kyle here, Freedom Fitness. I want to go over kettlebell swings today. This is going to be an in-depth video on how to do a kettlebell swing. Right? So first thing we need to think about when it comes to kettlebell swings is what is the movement we're doing? It's a hip hinge. If you don't know what a hip hinge means or what that is, I'm going to show you before we even grab the kettlebell. Right? So a hip hinge means just like I'm going to have my knees slightly bent, so they're soft, and then I'm going to be pushing my hips straight back as if there was a wall behind me and I'm trying to touch my butt to the wall, and then I push the hips straight forward, right? So all the movement is coming straight from the hip joint, not from my lower back. It is not a rounded position, and it's also not a squat position. You can notice once my knees are bent, they stay just slightly bent, and then all the movement is coming straight from hips back and forward, okay? So that's like the basic hip hinge movement. Now what do I do from there? I add weight, but when you add weight, obviously you have to have some sort of tension built up. So what you gotta do in your mind is you need to create tension in your lats. Your lats are these muscles that go all the way from armpit down to lower back, okay? So what I like to say when people are here in the gym is I want you to protect your armpits. What that means to me is if someone was going to come up from behind and try and tickle my armpit, I would protect my armpit. I'm squeezing back, creating tension. No one's going to get there. But that's going to provide my spine stability so that I'm not going to round, I'm not going to overly extend. I'm going to use my hips the whole time to get that motion done. So now that we know the basics, I'm hinging, creating tension in the lats, and using my hips and my glutes to provide that motion upwards. I'm going to take you through the first step of an actual getting ready to do a kettlebell swing. So watch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the kettlebell in front of me, right? It's a relatively not crazy narrow stance and not crazy wide. Sometimes I just go based off of what's comfortable. Sometimes it's like a squat stance in a way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the kettlebell out in front, and I'm going to tilt the kettlebell back towards me. That's going to allow me to pull my shoulders down towards my hips and get that protecting of the armpit. So watch. I tilt and I engage and protect. I'll show you again. I tilt and I push those shoulders down and engage. That's my first step. From there, I can drive this kettlebell straight back through my heels or behind the heels, just like so. Right, when you're learning the motion, I would just do this for 5 in a row. I'd sit here, tense up, drive through, bring it back, and repeat. Tilt, tense up, drive through, and repeat. And the whole time you should be able to keep your back flat. Right? Now once I go through heels, from there, hips drive forward, they create all the power, kettlebell swings up, and I'm gonna stop the kettlebell right at shoulder height. Right? So in order to do that, I gotta keep core tight. If my core isn't tight, I'm gonna arch my back, I'm gonna lean back, right? And I get more motion out of my trunk instead of the hips, right? Remember, all this motion's coming from the hips. So I'm gonna do 3 reps in a row. You're gonna be able to see I get to the top, stopping right at shoulder height and forcing it down. You should imagine like if I had Nick, who's holding the camera right now, if I had him out in front of me, it would be like every time I get to my shoulders, he would be pushing that kettlebell down through my legs, and then I propel it back up to his hands. So I'm gonna do a set of 3 so you guys can see right here. I'm gonna tilt, lats turn on, drive back, 3 reps. All right? Now one extra thing I want you to think about, because we're getting in depth with this one, this isn't just a quick and easy, is going to be as I was coming through the hips and as I was going out, because my lats are so tight and engaged and have tension, the kettlebell doesn't go way low to the ground, right? It stays really tight in the actual groin here, and I propel upwards, and it's not going to start to float out away from me super far. I'm keeping almost like a T-Rex arm, kind of. It kind of looks a little shortened, but that's going to keep that kettlebell closer to me, and I can control how fast I want to come down and up with the hips. The further out away from me, the more chance I have of rounding, of losing that tension, losing my balance in my feet, right? So I'm gonna do another set. We're gonna go 5. Keep an eye on that. See how I keep it close to me? I'm using just that tension from hips and production of power forward to get that kettlebell to go up. So watch. Once again, it's out in front. I'm gonna tilt, engage the lats, and then use those hips as my power point, okay? Let's go. Okay, so I want you to try it this way. No more than 5 reps when you're just learning. No more than 5 reps at a time so that you can actually feel hip is doing all the motion, back staying steady, and it actually gets to a point where you're feeling like you're swinging the kettlebell and you have that motion in your arms instead of squatting and doing a front raise with your delts, okay? When you get good at it, 5 reps can then turn into 10, which can turn into 20, and you can go alternating single arm. There's a lot of different variations, but in the beginning, shorter reps, 3 reps, 5 reps, a minute of rest. This is about learning, not just getting tired in the beginning. We can become tired later on down the road, but for right now, focus on the movement pattern itself, okay? Give that a try. Let me know how it goes.